Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here. It is October 22nd, Friday, and we are back for another live stream.
Hello.
Live stream, you
Hello.
stream, we all stream for live stream. Yay.
Yay.
Man, it's October 22nd. Where is the time gone?
It's gone out the window. It went out the
Yeah.
window a very long time ago.
But we're going to have some fun today. I want to go back and do some stuff that I haven't done in a long time. I want to do some creature design. I was screwing around with some stuff this morning, and I don't want to stop, so I thought, well, let's just take it into the live stream and have some fun with it. I was looking through some of our Africa photos that Dustin and myself had taken, and I thought, it'd be really fun to create my own African creature and use some of the textures and everything that we photographed while we were in Africa. I was thinking, what if we came up with an alternate evolution? The grass plains and everything are the same, but what if the animals evolved differently? We came up with our own creatures. So that's kind of the theme today that I'm going to do. But before we get to that, I want to talk about two big sales we got going on. We've got a sale going on with our streaming access. It's what the heck did I just say it was?
Memberships to the website. Both of them are on sale. Streaming memberships are 40% off, and
Yes.
annual memberships are $70 off, and those are the best deals we have.
Yes, there you go. So this is the best time to become a member. If you want to get in there, it's pretty much, well, not quite half off, but it's a lot. And remember, the membership gets you everything. It gets you access to everything that's on the site, plus anything that we create during that year. And so it's a really great deal. Automatic renewals. It's a great deal. Also, do we have anything else happening in?
Yeah.
I'm still working away on my.
Because it's still October, it's still Inktober, and our pen and ink drawing course is still 30% off.
Yes, I can't keep track of all these great deals that we do. I just draw. Nick handles that stuff. I just draw and paint and stuff. So and order supplies. I'm always on the phone. Hey Nick, I just ordered blah blah blah. Okay, thanks. So I'm still working away on the new course coming out. I've got a new animation course coming out that as we get closer to the end, I want to tell you more about it. But there's going to be some fun news with that. I think that you guys will really appreciate. But I'm having a great time creating it, and Nick's involved and Dustin's involved, and it's really kind of fun. And other than that, I think everything else is going. I had a great day yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Went out and did some painting.
Some painting?
Painting with brother Ronnie Williford. Did a little painting here. There's some nice springs nearby, and this is a plein air painting that I did. I don't know if you can see it very well.
They could see it.
Yeah, there we go. Did a plein air painting right there on the creek, right there at Rock Springs in watercolor. And man, we've been talking about our next in-person workshop, which we haven't done since before COVID. Our last one was a watercolor workshop we did in Sarasota in March of 2020.
Literally, they were locking the doors as we were leaving
were.
places.
Exactly. And so we've been, since things are starting to open up again and the borders are opening up, we're starting to think about, where we want to do our next one. And that's definitely on the list. So it's pretty cool. But let's jump into here. So this is, I want to show you what I've been doing. Let me knock this up a little bit. Right here. Let me go here. So when we were out on this is called the marsh area of the Masai Mara. It's right near the airstrip where we come in. And there's always this troop of baboons. There's always antelope. There's always elephants. The grass around this area is really marshy. And so because of that, there tends to be some trees. And because there's trees, there's dead trees that have fallen. And so you get these really nice poses. And I saw these baboons out there. And Dustin got some great shots of these baboons as well.
It's a little small on the screen. Can you?
Oh, is it? Yeah, sorry. Bum, 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 bum.
Is that one of the photos that you took?
Yeah, there's one I took.
Gotcha.
And I thought, I was going through as I was thinking about doing creatures today. I thought, man, what a nice backdrop to just put a creature against, sitting up on top of that log. I love working over digital photographs and using, digital textures and that sort of thing to bring it into a kind of a photographic realm when I do these creatures. And so I started sketching. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time sketching on camera and searching because that tends to take most of the time. So I was sketching and I came up with this. And I'm still not quite there, but let me knock this back a little bit so we can see it a little better. And I'm just, it's a six-legged creature. I thought, it can be mammalian, but it can also have bird traits. And I gave it the big, heavy bill because I do see it as a predator. I just thought it could be kind of fun. And so that's the pose I started drawing. We're going to draw right over and paint right over those baboons. And that's that. So I just thought we got this far. I'm going to go ahead and start refining it. And we'll just start working it from there. What do you say?
Let's do it.
What do you say, people?
People are saying that looks really cool.
So I definitely want an air of coolness to it. Whoops. Already.
Matthew says, your beard is looking good.
Hey, it's filling in, It wasn't until I hit my late 40s that I could grow my beard all the way in. Thanks. I actually manicured it. I got lazy the last couple of weeks and it got kind of scruffy on me.
You should, just because you should cut the baboon out and throw him on the back of the creature like he's riding the creature.
Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
And
They would fit perfectly.
that's what I was thinking. It might actually work.
So usually I'll do the rough drawing, and then I'll do a refined drawing, as you guys know. And in this case, I'd see this as fur, not feathers, but fur coming down, coming into this hard beak. And mammals can have hard, look at a pangolin. Pangolin is a mammal.
You know what I wanted to do?
No, I'm not a mind reader.
It's not too distracting to you. I thought maybe we could try it where we turn that cursor highlight on.
Oh, yeah. How do you
That
do
should
that?
be, hey, everybody, go right up here.
Presentify. Now, do I see it?
Draw. Yeah, you. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Does it
okay.
distract you?
No.
If it does, we can turn it off.
No, it's not too bad. So, are they seeing exactly this?
Yeah.
Yep, they can see the green circle.
That just lets them see a lot better where you're at.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, where you at? I'm over here.
Especially in the line work phase, I think it's
Yeah.
helpful because
So here I was imagining the beak, still bony and everything, but kind of serrated and kind of in the shape of teeth, but still kind of a beak.
From Leonardo Placinio. Hey, Aaron.
Hey,
you
how's
doing?
it going?
Today I feel accompanied with your transmission while I work. Transition?
You okay?
Transition?
What's
Well,
that?
he wrote transmission.
What did he say?
Today I feel accompanied by your transmission while I work.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but hey, how's it going?
that just means they're watching the video. It's just a translation thing.
Oh, translation.
No, they're your transmission being your stream. It's an English thing.
Oh, transmitting.
Oh, my emissions.
It's those of us in the room that have to deal with your emissions. People like the highlighter.
Oh, good. So I'm going to give him some big ears. Because as a predator, he's got a... I was giving it 4 eyes. I was going to give it multiple eyes, but I couldn't find a way that made it look interesting, or it just looked like I was trying to put too much on the face. So,
good opportunity for a segue. Yuna on Twitch says, "Hello from France. I love your art, and I pre-ordered your art book."
speaking of which, Nick, give it a highlight or give it an update.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the kind
Yes,
words.
and thank you. Yes, thank you very much for purchasing the book.
So the books are still at port. You can still pre-order. They are making progress, though. We've received word that the boat has been docked. Before it was anchored offshore, just waiting in line to be allowed to dock. Now it's supposedly docked, and now it's just waiting to be unloaded, which means we are inching ever closer to getting these books in our hand. So when if you're interested in getting a guaranteed signed copy of either of Aaron's 2 art books that are coming out, go to creatureartteacher.com/books and you can pre-order. Once we have them, the pre-order's over and there's no more signed copies. So that's the update.
There you go. So this is actually a nostril right here. I decided to move the nostril off the face and just have that all big. This is like really heavy, solid, bony material right here. Nothing can it can rip through anything. It'll bite a tree in half. And so I thought moving the nostril someplace else would be advantageous.
From Castro, I'm going to shorten this question a little bit, but if you decide to go to Australia, what marsupials and animals would you want to sketch in Australia and where?
Quokka.
Huh?
Quokkas.
Walkas?
I want to draw quokkas. Quokkas.
Considering we might be going to Tasmania, it'd be cool to see some devils.
Yeah. To get quokkas, I think we got to go to Perth. We got to go to Western Australia, but I'd love to, draw some devils. I want to draw some wombats. I want to hold a wombat. Koalas.
I would love to see a koala.
Someone's asking, what brush is that called? I just brought some of your brush packs.
This is the number 7 pastel brush.
It's a Pastel C.
Pastel C, thank you. This is in my original custom brush set.
Yeah, you can get it in brush set number 1, which I'll post the link to. You can also get it for free if you join our newsletter at creatureartteacher.com, right on the homepage.
We also got some other. I guess I can't talk about it yet, can I? Regarding the meeting we had the other day, Nick.
Yeah, we're a little early on that, but we've got some.
It's kind of fun. It'll be exciting, but
Yep.
we'll be able to talk about it later.
We've got
Sorry, I
some
didn't mean to hold the carrot out in front of you, but
No, that's fine. We got some cool. We can say we've got some cool giveaways and stuff lined up. We can absolutely say that.
Yeah, with a very cool company.
From Kirk Zimmerman. Hi, Aaron, Dustin, and Nick. Hi.
Hey,
Do you think you'll ever come to Toronto for any workshops?
never say never. The last time Nick and I we actually did a lecture workshop. What was it, about 6 years ago?
Yeah, we were in Ottawa.
That was Ottawa. That's right. It wasn't Toronto.
Yep.
Sorry, I got my cities mixed up. I forgot it was Ottawa. But definitely will be in Toronto at some point. I love Toronto. Dustin used to live in Toronto.
I lived there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And boy, was that a fun experience. From
Dustin got hooked on poutine.
Oh my! I was on a lean cuisine diet when I was living in California before Toronto, and when I moved up there and I got introduced to poutine, that diet went right out the window. Thankfully, though,
Cheese, curds, potatoes, and gravy.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, I didn't drive. I walked everywhere in the city. I didn't own a car for those 2 years. So the exercise did help a little bit. But yeah, the diet was like, nope. From Casper, is your creature representing the extinct terror bird?
No, this is just I was trying really hard to come up with something unique, but I just kept coming back to mixing like a cat with a bird of prey.
Ryan on YouTube says, I was actually there in Ottawa for that. My buddy Corey put that on.
That's right.
Sorry I missed going out with you guys for drinks after the event. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Say hi to Corey for us, Ryan. It's been a while since we've talked to him.
That's right. Hey, Corey, if you're listening, hi. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I watched Dune last night.
What'd you think?
I didn't know it's set up to be. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or.
That's what they're planning on. I've
It's
seen
a
the behind the
trilogy?
scenes there. Yeah, they're planning on.
I was so disappointed when that happened, when that came up, when I realized because we're like 2 hours into the movie. I'm like, what? When is it? And it's not like no. There's plenty of things that happen, but knowing the original story, it's like they've got so much more story to cover. What's going on? And then I realized it's a multi-movie.
But you said you enjoyed it, right?
I really enjoyed it. And you know what? Telling the story slower like this is way better because I remember when I watched. I've never read the books, and when I watched the original, I went to the theater and saw the original back in 1984. I was in high school, and I was so confused. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was just like, "Holy crap! Sting's in this movie."
Steve and Claudia went and saw it last night in the theater.
Oh yeah,
Yep. He said it's an excellent big screen movie.
it really is. That you get really used to seeing when you look at a lot of visual development art and portfolios. Look at Sid Mead and really accomplished artists like that. There's a certain the way they break up shapes and compositions and getting the abstract design right. That kind of translates from artist to artist. It's kind of everyone kind of does it fairly similarly nowadays, in a good way is what I'm talking about. The really good ones, and every other shot in that movie is a visual development shot. They're just insanely beautiful.
Couple of YouTube questions. Hannah asks, are you going to give it fur or scales?
Fur.
Why not both?
I was thinking about both actually.
And then Mr. Garlic asks, hi Aaron, I'm going to the zoo to sketch for the first time. Any advice for how to approach it?
Yes, find out what you're going to be drawing ahead of time because if you're not familiar with the animal's anatomy, if you're completely new to the anatomy, and if you're new to drawing animal anatomy to begin with, then you're going to have a struggle. And so I always recommend brushing up on the animals that you're going to draw ahead of time so that you can get to understand their anatomy a little bit better so that when you do get in there and they're moving around, because they will be, you won't struggle as much. And you can, scribble down a pose and as they move, you can refine it.
That doesn't sound like Dustin. Who's on the questions today?
Oh, that'd be Nick Birch.
And I am here. Don't worry. Just Nick has a lot more questions than I do.
But Nick does questions all the time.
Oh yeah. Caster's one. I wonder if Disney will organize a big Beauty and the Beast 30th anniversary event this fall, inviting you, Mark Henn, Glenn Keane, Andreas Deja.
30th. It's already, isn't it? Is it just now? When did it come out? Oh, it came out in 91, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it's come and
I thought it came out in 90. I thought we already passed the 30th.
91. But yeah, I think it's
I can't believe that.
Fall of this year. So yeah, it'll be
Time
that,
flies,
that would be
man.
really cool if they did a big event with you, the old Beauty and the Beast crew. How would you feel about that?
That'd be great. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be included in it because Glenn was the supervisor of the Beast. I mean, I did the Beast in Florida. I was the Florida Beast guy. But but uh, Glenn was the supervisor.
Well, we went to sort of a mini event like that at Epcot for the Lion King. Remember,
Yeah.
you were invited. Obviously, you were the lead.
Yeah, but
you were the lead
I
on Nala.
supervised. Yeah, I was a lead on Nala.
And also, you did the
So that was
Mulan in in CTN.
Yeah, but I had several characters on Mulan that I supervised.
From Leonardo, when you choose the palette, what tips can you give to choose it?
The palette, when you're choosing, I'm assuming you mean the colors that I'm
Yeah.
choosing.
The color palette, like how do you decide on
Well,
it?
the first thing I do is I think about local colors. So I'm not thinking about um, light or shade or anything like that right off the bat. And then in a case like this, I'm thinking about uh, how would this cat or this animal evolve in this world? And so you're not going to have a predator that's going to be, bright blue in a predominantly orange and ochre kind of environment. So it wouldn't be too far off of what's already evolved, which with the cats, which is the color that they are, because it'd stand out, right? Now, not to say that you couldn't have parts that were hidden that when it came time to maybe display and attract a mate, they could do that, like the skin under the neck, which is what I was thinking, or the plumes on the back of the head. Those can lay flat, and maybe the back side of them are brown, but when they flare up, they're bright blue and red underneath to attract a female.
Erica Bay says that Being the Beast was released in November 22nd, 1991.
That's what I thought. 91. Yeah.
Well, you said 90 originally, so
said
91.
No, oh, yeah. That's what I meant. After I realized it's like 90, it's 91.
So 30 days from today will be the 30th anniversary.
Yeah. It's funny. I remember that was our first really big feature because Mermaid came through the studio and Mermaid did okay.
I mean, Mermaid did really good for the time,
Yeah, for the time.
because that's kind of what restarted the whole thing.
Well, actually, it was Oliver and Company before that. Oliver and Company did really well for the time. Oliver and Company was the highest grossing animated movie of its time when it came out, believe it or not. And then Mermaid came out and just blew it out of the water. And so then they knew they were onto something. It was this, this formula, this Broadway, this new they had brought in Broadway producers, Tom Schumacher and Peter Schneider and started approaching these films in a different way. And it was really cool to see how the public responded to that. And we just kept making them. We didn't know any different. We just thought this is how the animated movies were always made, but it was really different than the way that they were made, in the classic days.
Tyler asks, could you possibly do a domesticated animal, cat, bird, dog, fish course? Like domesticated animals, pets, basically. Drawing pets is what they're asking for.
Yeah, we've talked about doing something like that. I wanted to do one on dogs and hit different breeds. And start with the top 5 most common breeds worldwide. Something like that, or maybe 6.
From Jade Price, how did you work out the six-legged creature you're working on.
I'm imagining that he's got a double. There's a double socketed pelvis. I don't think it's going to be. That's the other thing too. I'm trying to decide whether or not it would be one solid pelvis with four sockets for the femurs, or would it be two pelvises with a flexible joint in between? I think having two pelvises with a flexible joint, from an evolutionary standpoint, would make more sense. So you could have a little bit of flexibility between the legs. So in my mind, there's two pelvises here.
And then a little more spine or like an
Yeah.
like
So
an
there's a
accordion
lot
style
between
joint.
from the shoulders down to the top of the first pelvis. There's there's a fair number of vertebrae, and then I think there's maybe a hinge, or maybe I think it would just be a hinge, for the second part of the pelvis and the other legs.
It was interesting how in this image, as you said, it's more four legs than four arms, and yet in Pandora, it's the other way around, where the four legs are towards the front with the two legs in the back.
Yeah.
So if someone were to be struggling with, because the other half of the question is that they're really struggling, if there's any tips, would you say it's just focus on the anatomy itself? Like
Yeah. Think about what the reality is. Think about what's happening under the skin, and that'll help. Kind of, think about. I try to think of the physiology of how is it going to move, and don't just be willy nilly about it.
It also reminds me of there was a documentary, I think it was on Netflix, of like what other alien planets could be like.
Yeah.
And there's a particular predatory animal that chases after these what looks like little rabbits of the alien world.
Yeah.
But these things look like monkeys. They're running after them, but then when they get to a certain range, they have these arms tucked into their chest that are like twice as long.
Yeah, they could spring out.
Yeah, they can spring out and try to grab.
Dustin, when he gets into drawing the tail, you're going to need to hide him because he's covering go to just the desktop.
So what?
I'm drawing the tail right now,
Go to
and I'm
just the
covering up the
desktop.
tail.
Oh. There we go.
That's why I don't like having me on the screen. Let's take a consensus right now. Do you guys need me on the screen or not? Because I don't like being on the screen because it blocks part of the drawing.
I think way more people prefer seeing you on the screen. We just have to bring you in and out as needed. But we cannot. You know what? I'm going to put a poll right now on YouTube.
Yeah, I want to see what they say. Because I don't think, to me, it's like the other one that I've always argued is like director's commentary. I think the director's commentary is just, no one listens to it, maybe a few.
Totally not true.
And I
extremely
think it's
popular.
total ego on the part of the filmmaker.
Well, considering we're literally planning on doing a commentary for Brother Bear on YouTube.
But I've debated it, and I want to see what people think.
I think you and Chuck totally have to do one.
That's why we did the moose instead of Bob and I talking, because I just feel like it's total narcissism.
So far, it's 70-30. Yes, you on the screen. 70% of the vote.
Okay.
You're all right, Dan.
We'll let it keep running. We'll see what happens.
All right. So there's the more tight. Whoop! I didn't get the. Gotta get this back.
That's on YouTube, by the way, for people watching on the other channels wondering what poll are you talking about? Because there's no way to. I don't think there's a way to do it on Facebook.
From Kirk Zimmerman, when you were putting your book together, How did you decide among all of your amazing work which pieces went in and which pieces were left out?
It was more, I guess it was just really feelings. Nick and I went through, and we spent a couple of weeks having meetings and just going through all of the art in the collection that we've got, and just saying yes or no. Really, it came down to that.
And then even once we said narrowed that down, there was still more than I could fit in the book. So we basically, I kind of made some judgment calls based on what laid out right together, and then ultimately you went back through and did a final revision, and so it's kind of like what made the best book. We felt really right.
Yeah, because there's a lot of pieces in there that that didn't make the book that people are gonna, you know, if you follow any of my work, like when the king speaks, you know, the lion print that we've sold quite a few of, that's not in the book.
Well, I'm already working on volume two.
But that's the point I was going to make,
Yeah.
is that it's going into a second volume.
We've got plenty of work for a whole nother volume book, but we got to get this one to people first.
Yeah, no kidding.
And speaking of which, if you go to creatureartteacher.com/books, there's still time to pre-order. Someone saying, how about just put Aaron in the upper left instead of the...
What's in the upper left? Is there anything up there?
No, nothing.
Just all the tools.
Oh, that's
no
all
one
right. You
cares
don't
about.
need to see the tools.
But Zonji says I have teaching today, attending the IX convention, but just wanted to pop in and say hi.
Hey, Zanji.
And also says I like seeing Aaron. Usually, seeing you helps connect.
Gotcha. All right. So now I want to bring this up to full, I think. Well, not, yeah, I'm going to do that first. I think I'm going to go a little bit more orange. A little more orange than sepia. And we'll get, or brown actually. And we'll get some lighter spots in it.
We used to do the green screen, remember?
I know. We stopped doing the green screen because we didn't have room, but now we got room.
From Jay Price, if you were to design for a six-legged creature in the front section, would the extra limbs be attached to the shoulder blade muscle or an extra shoulder blade?
I would do it. I would definitely do it as an extra shoulder blade down below along the sides. I've done that before. It makes for a much larger rib cage.
Erica says, yay, volume 2. Pandora asks, are you using any reference images, or is this anatomy all from your mental library?
This is all from my mental library right now. And because we're such big fans of Spinal Tap, we're going to go up to volume 11 for our book.
From Castro, if you time traveled to the age of dinosaurs and went to the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous period, what would you want to sketch on paper and pen, charcoal, or Photoshop?
Everything.
Everything.
Because there's got to be literally thousands upon thousands of species that we've just never found any fossil record for. That their environment just didn't allow them to fossilize wherever it was that they lived.
Oh, you're right. I mean, for everything we found, there has to have been thousands that were never.
And I mean, whole species.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would take a camera with me.
Really? Dustin would bring a camera? I hope so. Now, long tails they've held on to their long tails because of balance. Predators have long tails because they're running and chasing and changing directions fast and that sort of thing. So I think I'm going to keep the long tail on it.
Is it a good idea to include opposite hand work in our portfolio to get into art college or for scholarships?
No.
I mean, unless you can draw equally as well.
Yeah, I mean, no one cares if you can draw with your other hand. They just want to see how well you draw.
Peter Hahn can draw equally well with both.
Yeah.
Which is
Peter Hahn is an anomaly.
Yeah. So unless it's literally as good with both, it doesn't. And if it's better, then use the one that's better.
Yeah. That's like, should you include your degree in your portfolio? No, you don't have to. And that's the thing. That's one of the things unique to animation studios is that, as opposed to other blue collar or white collar type jobs, is that it really doesn't come down to your degree. It comes down to your ability to do the work.
Facebook question, sorry, YouTube question. Have you ever drawn a Barbary lion?
I may have at the zoo. I think the ones that they had at the zoo in in Chester.
No, Barbaries are extinct, I think, right?
I don't know. I thought they were. I didn't think they were.
Yeah, I think they are.
Look it up because I
Wikipedia says they're extinct.
What's that?
Wikipedia says they're extinct.
That's Middle Eastern, right? The
Barbary Coast was believed to have survived in Algeria until the early 1960s and Morocco to the mid 1960s.
Right.
Today it is
basically North Africa.
Oh, wait. Until 2017, the Barbary lion was considered a distinct lion subspecies. It does not differ significantly from
They tend to be like bushier. I always thought of them as being bushier.
Okay, so there are, at the beginning of the 21st century, which would be the 2000s, right? The Addis Ababa Zoo kept 16 adult lions. They looked like Barbary or Cape lions. There's some debate. So basically, they're definitely extinct in the wild. There's some debate about whether there's any of them in captivity. That's the gist of it.
Got it.
Got it.
Got it.
Dustin, he's when he's on the tail, don't forget to.
Yeah.
Sorry, there was a lag, so.
So the first thing I want to do is just get this silhouette in here. And then I can go in and play with the color. Now I'm not going to play with the color a whole lot, or I will a little bit, but I'm going to really pull in some textures from other animals.
I want to remind people that might have tuned in late that we are running 2 sales on our website right now. And the big one is we're running a membership sale. And for people that don't know, we have two types of membership to our website. We have an annual membership that lets you download and keep everything on the website, and that's $70 off right now. So that gets you all of our courses, all of the brushes, all of the photo packs, everything for one low price, plus everything we release over the next year. So that's on sale. And then the streaming membership, which is kind of like a low cost monthly way to view all the content, that's 40% off. So that gets you streaming access to over 450 hours of lessons. Plus, we release new ones about 60 to 90 days after they come out. And then you get discounts on all the brushes and everything. So check it out.
Check it out now.
I think so, brother.
I think so, brother. This is a long one. Long plume. Check it out now.
From Jade, what animals are is this based on? Sorry if I missed the beginning, as you probably already mentioned it.
I'm not really basing it on any. I mean, there's got some cat in there. But I'm kind of generalizing four-legged predatory animals in general. And then I've got, the beak in there obviously is a bird of prey. The plumes and
Erica says, thank you so much. I just got my signed grizzly print in the mail today. Thank you for packing it so well. I'll be hanging it later today.
well, that was all Nick. Nick
Yeah.
even signed it.
No,
No, we were over, was it this weekend? This past weekend?
Yep.
Yeah, because we were off doing, Vedanta and I were off doing errands, and Nick goes, hey man, you got to come by the house and sign the prints. I got to get them in the mail today. So that's how we do it, folks.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time coming up with the best way to package those things so that they don't get damaged, and I'm pretty happy with our method that we developed. Steve and I spent a while coming up with that. We do a double box plus plastic tissue paper.
Which one did she get?
She got the grizzly.
Oh, cool. I like that print.
Yeah. Pandora says, wow, an authentic Nick forgery.
No, it wasn't forged. I'm kidding.
She was joking. It's an authentic forgery.
Exactly. An authentic forgery.
Natalia asks, do you have any tips for character design for animation?
Yeah, I've got a pile of them. Matter of fact, I got so many tips, I created an entire course on it. On doing character design at creatureartteacher.com. No, I got tons of tips. First one being, before you ever start drawing, know the character that you're designing. And I know that sounds obvious, but so many people just dive right in. Get in there, and if you're designing for a specific project, read the script, understand the character. If you're doing it for yourself, write the history of that character. What are they all about? Are they the good guy, the bad guy? If they're the bad guy, what good traits do they have? Round them out. All kinds of stuff. The more you get to know that character, the easier they're going to start designing themselves.
The character design course, I just posted a link to it, and it's neck and neck with the animation course for being our most popular course on the website. It's really good. So if you're at all interested, I strongly suggest it to people. And also, we have a character design course from David Coleman on animal character design, which is really good as well.
Yes.
And if you become a member, you get both included.
That guy's all right. That guy's all right.
That is all right. He's working on a big project right now that we can't talk about.
Oh, we can't talk about that? I thought that was common knowledge.
I don't know if it's common knowledge that he's working on it. Well, maybe. I don't
Oh,
know. Maybe we can. I don't know.
I don't know either. Best to keep her mouth shut.
That's what I figured.
Do you guys print your own prints or use a service?
We do our own prints. Well, it depends. We have some that we do a service with, and then other ones, when we do like a special on prints, we've got a giant, large format G-Clay print.
Yeah, the signed prints we
Printer.
do. The signed prints we do in house because they're usually limited edition and stuff like that. We've got if you go to our website, we've got a whole selection of other prints, and those come from a printer. Just because it would be too much packing and shipping.
So what I've done right now is I've alpha locked this layer so I can draw over it and it won't go outside the borders of what I've drawn. And I'm just working on local color, so I'm just playing around with what it might look like. Local color.
Roxy asks, is there going to be a photo reference pack from Africa?
It's in the works. Making the final touches.
So the answer is no.
A hard no. It's never coming.
What brush are you using now?
This is my brush that I don't sell. It's my past. It's a textured brush that I got from a friend of mine.
Yeah, we can't sell it, but you made a brush very similar.
I did. I've tried. It's very similar, and I think it's okay. I've tried to. I can't seem to get used to that brush as much as this one, and I'm continuing to. Matter of fact, I haven't done brushes in quite a long time. I got to get back and do some more brushes.
Yeah, we should put one out before the end of the year. Actually, let's put a brush out before the end of the stream.
There you go. I'm sure I'll come up with something. I'll have a brush.
How's the Armand Serrano course coming?
Nick?
Coming along. He's still filming. We're still filming a couple little scenes for that, so it's not quite in the can yet. But as soon as it is, we'll be editing it. And goal is to have it out before Christmas. Aaron, did you ever hold the title of concept artist or visual development artist?
No. I've done tons of that, but in different capacities where my responsibilities kind of overlapped. I mean, I've been a visual development artist, yes, but I was, I did it in the capacity of eventually becoming the director of that project. So I was a director doing visual development.
When you left Disney, they actually offered you a visual development job, didn't they?
They did, yeah. But I chose not to go with it.
Hey Aaron, I'm going to the Chester Zoo on Monday near Manchester in the UK, hoping to get some good reference photos while I'm there.
Man, we love the Chester Zoo.
Been there a couple times now.
Yeah. Go to the bat house and take a deep breath.
Were the Beatles considered to voice and sing for the Vultures in Jungle Book until Walt and the studio settled with the barber shop quartet instead?
Yeah, I can't. You know what? I know there's a story behind that, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's true or not. I know they were based on the Beatles.
So I just closed the poll. Almost 100% of the people voted that are watching on YouTube. Should you be on the camera or not? 86% say yes.
Damn. Okay, that's higher than I expected. You're wrong. You're all wrong.
I agree. I think people make a personal connection by seeing you on camera. I think that's
Feelings. Nothing more than feelings.
Do you miss drawing in private? I imagine every piece you do is being filmed and looked at live.
I draw in private all the time. I can't stop drawing. So it doesn't, I'm always drawing.
He even draws when he's in front of the TV.
I do. I draw all the time.
He takes his drawing kit with him whenever he goes to the theater.
No. Don't do that.
It'd be a lot funnier if you did.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
Not killer if you did. We find we did like different challenges like that, like drawing in the most unusual places. Like one of them is like drawing in a movie theater while a movie's playing.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn that background back up now.
Which one of Eric Goldberg's characters are your favorites and admire?
Oh, I love the genie. The genie's my favorite by far.
He's done a lot of great characters, but I mean, how do you top the genie? That's
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Time to jump out of this for a little bit. I want to go into our photographs. Here's where I pulled the photograph from. You guys are going to get to see some of our reference and how I keep it, which is completely disorganized.
While you're doing that, Ethan asks, in the future, could you create an animation of a spotted hyena like from The Lion King? That would be very cool.
Sure.
I think you doing a hyena would be cool just because they move so bizarrely. Like they don't look like they move right.
Look at that. This is just a couple weeks ago. This is us at the look at that. I'm as big around as an elephant.
Perspective.
That's right. It's making me look thinner than reality. I love these shots that Dustin got. Look at that face.
John on Facebook says, we need a photo of you painting while going down Splash Mountain.
This snake right here, I think I can say it because I'm not showing where it's at. This is a boom slang. It's a poisonous snake in Africa, but they're pretty docile. It's a pretty amazing snake. They're absolutely beautiful. All right, so I want to get some texture. I want to try leopard first. Dustin got some really great leopard photos. Here we are. And I'm going to grab some leopard fur texture. I want to see what I can do with it. I want to see what I can do with it.
Let's see what we can do with it. Hey, Peter, don't worry about it.
Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Let's see. Well, the order all got channel. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Leo asks, this isn't necessarily this is not an animation question, but how do you have, sorry, I can't read it.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I know this is not about animation, but would you have any tips on how I can improve my overall productivity and still maintain quality? I assume they mean volume of
All right,
production.
I'm sorry, I was looking
How can
at,
they improve their volume of production but still maintain quality?
that just happens over time. Time is the best way of doing that because you just get more adept at what you're doing. Spend more time at your desk, take less breaks so that you get a rhythm. But yeah, the only thing I can tell you is time. Time will take care of that. As animators, we always wanted to get faster and faster. And obviously, we all know that creating animation is painful. Hand-drawn animation is painfully slow, and we all, we had one guy that Mark Henn who just produced an amazing amount of animation. One of the main ways he did it was two things. One, he sat at his desk all day long. There's a lot of animators at the studio that took a lot of breaks and would go out and play ping pong, go out and smoke a cigarette, do whatever. And but Mark, he took his 2 or 3 breaks a day and had his lunch, but otherwise he was at his desk 8, 9, 10 hours a day.
Twitch comment.
Shoot.
I just wanted to say thank you for all your courses. I've learned so much, and I'm currently learning how to draw bears for an animation.
Oh, right on. I love it.
Why are leopards on the savannah rare and difficult to see, even as you're lucky as lions and cheetahs on the vast plains? Are they just easier to spot on safari?
You know, I'm not sure. There's not as many of them. There's solitary, but so are cheetahs generally. I'm not sure.
Was the question leopards versus cheetahs?
Yeah, like what? No, it's more of it's the question of why are leopards harder to find or harder to see than lions and cheetahs?
Well, they're definitely creatures of denser foliage.
Yeah, they literally hide more. Like cheetahs go out in the open, but I mean, just in my experience, having only been there twice, the cheetahs literally need open space to do what they do, which is run, right? And hunt stuff down.
Yeah.
So you're going to see them more in the open. Leopards so far seem to, they lurk in the trees and in the bushes and in the ditches and
Yeah, leopards are not as fast as lions or cheetahs, and so they have to use their intelligence and camouflage to sneak and ambush.
Okay, so this is really freaking cool. So what I just did was I took the leopard and I inverted it, meaning I made all the colors opposite and all the values opposite. So anything that was light becomes dark and anything that was orange became blue. Now I don't want any blue fur in nature. I wanted it to go back to brown. So then what I did was I went to the hue and saturation and I changed the hue to the opposite, leaving the values where they were. And so now I've got brown fur, but everything's been inverted. So I've got these really cool markings that are inspired from a leopard, but they're reversed. And I think this is going to be really awesome. Does that make sense what I just said?
it does. Yep.
So if I take a little section, let's say here, we're going to bring it up here. We're going to put this on top. Now what I usually do is I'll knock this down to about 30%. And I'll go to free transform. First thing I want to do is get it on the body. Let me blow this up so you can see it. I'm going to get it on the body. And then I'm going to go to edit, free transform, and warp. So now I can move it around and actually get it to fit the body, fit the form. And you got to do this as kind of a mosaic all over the place. So this part takes time. And then what I'll do is go in and go to image adjustments and go to exposure. And I'll knock the exposure up a little bit, but also knock the gamma correction a little bit. So it pushes the, and I'll pull back on the opacity and bring it back down to 20%. So it pushes the contrast a little. I want to go back to warp again because I want to push this down just a little bit more. Squash the top a little, just to get a little more.
Have you ever animated a video at 30 frames per second?
Yes, a little bit, not much. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to grab my eraser and I'm going to get the airbrush setting for it, the soft round.
Hannah asks, do you think tracing is a good way of practicing art? Tracing pictures.
Yeah, I mean, tracing definitely can help you. It's not the end all. You definitely don't do it all the time because you can only get so much out of tracing. But it's not bad. That's kind of cool. That fits kind of well, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's neat. It's neat.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool markings on that.
So let's go back to.
I could see some of your fur brushes being used in the,
Yeah,
the hair.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
What's your favorite thing to draw?
Big cats like we're doing now.
I mean, it's questionable.
But I mean, I love any kind of big, dramatic, predatory species. But I mean, I'm just as happy drawing a little songbird on a branch too. So, just any wildlife I love drawing. So the idea here is I want to get up and get this little mass a little bigger. Now I'll go to edit, transform, and warp. Once again, I can warp those shapes. Get it to wrap right onto the. Get it to wrap right on there.
Would you ever have an event with fellow animators over a weekend where you discuss projects you've worked on, maybe have commentary of a movie?
That's a great idea. Yes, I would do that in a heartbeat.
We've done that, sort of. Not organized ourselves, but you did that a couple years ago with Eric Goldberg and Tony Bancroft, all that up at
Yeah, we did.
in Nashville. Or Tom Bancroft, sorry.
We'll knock the saturation back a little bit. Same with this one. Get that to meld a little better. And then once again, I'll just go in and, oops, erase away, soften some of these edges so I can get them to come together a little better.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going, eh?
I'm doing a college project on how to catch the attention of artists we like to work with. What would catch your attention and make you want to work with someone?
The project, or a specific perfect person I admire.
Asking a question on a live stream is a good way to get attention.
Asking a question on a live stream. But yeah, I mean it's any it's got to be the project.
Basically, if the style fits the project.
Yeah, and the subject matter,
Yeah.
basically. Trying to think of what I'm going to do for the neck. What I want to do.
Oh, we're being rated on Twitch.
We're being what?
Rated.
Oh, that's
means,
cool.
Just means a bunch of people are bringing their viewers over to us.
Yep.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a very good thing. When yeah.
Doesn't sound like a good thing, but it is.
I mean,
we're being rated.
It depends on the stream itself, because I mean, most if not majority of streamers that raid are like really cool streamers and all, but then there can be a couple that
I know.
are like trolling raids.
Hey, jerks.
You jerks. But those ones are pretty rare. At least as I've experienced.
I'm just getting this to fit in here a little better. Check it out now.
I know you painted Star Wars characters on Photoshop like Chewbacca. Hope you could draw other characters like Luke or R2D2 or any of the other Star Wars characters.
Luke? That hack?
They also said Jar Jar and Jabba, and Dustin chose to omit that from the question.
But she just writes such long lists of things, so I just try to
I think you should do Jar Jar. That's what I think
Jar Jar Binks.
the internet wants.
That's Terrell's character.
Yep. Terrell Whitlatch design. Although, first of all, he is a great design. Say what you will about the character, but he's designed great.
Yes, he is.
She also designed Sebulba, which
Yep.
is, and that character is freaking awesome. The
Yeah.
design on him is.
You got some good close up leopard faces. Let's see let's go back into our library here. Didn't you get a close up closer up?
just scroll up, not down.
Okay. Jeez. You
Funny
so-
I'm pretty sure.
Here we go.
I'm pretty sure this person
you
answered
go.
their own question. Twitch comment question. Do you like the movies made by Studio Ghibli? And if so, which is your favorite? If I were to guess, I'd say probably Princess Mononoke because of the wolves and the creatures.
Yep, you nailed it.
Yeesh.
On all levels. Yep. Absolutely.
Was that the one they were making when you were there?
No, they're doing Howl's Moving Castle.
No, but there was a private screening at the animation theater.
What?
Wasn't there like a private?
I'm talking about when he was at Ghibli in Japan.
When I was at Ghibli.
Oh, Ghibli. I thought. But I do remember us going to see Mononoke.
Oh, yeah.
at the
Yeah,
theater- at the
you are right.
animation.
You are right there
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
that's what I was thinking. But yeah, my personal favorite has to be what was it? Castle in the Sky.
Yeah. Castle in the Sky.
I actually really like Howl's Moving Castle.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun.
that's another good one. Just a lot of
Okay, so here's what I did. I went to image, adjustments, and I went invert. So now it made it a negative image of it. So anything, these are all the opposite colors. It looks blue because everything else is predominantly orange and brown. Now I go to image, adjustments, and my hue and saturation. And all I got to do is take my hue slider, bring it all the way over, and it brings it back to brown. Brings those blues back to where they were. Now I've got my inverted spots. Pretty cool little system. Yeah, I think it's ingenious. Yeah, I think I'm back.
Thanks, John Wick.
So I'm going to take this whole section, bring it right up here, put it right over his face.
why was Pocahontas and Lion King, when they were made at the same time, considered as the A and B team?
No one considered that. That's just a rumor that got started. No one ever considered it to be an A and B team. First of all, Disney didn't consider anything to be an A movie and a B movie. They wanted everything to be great. And so, that being said, they just happened to split. Like Mark Henn, who is the supervisor of Simba, young Simba, was just as much of an A animator as Glenn Keane, who was doing Pocahontas. And but that whole idea that it was an A team and a B team is something that wasn't really true.
I think there was just internally a lot of people, because Glenn was on Pocahontas, a lot of people were excited about that.
Yeah.
project.
Now, once again, Glenn was probably the most popular animator in the studio, and everyone wanted to work with Glenn. And everybody figured whatever project Glenn's working on, that's got to be the main A project. So that's where that whole thing got started. That being said, let me get this eye in here real quick. There we go. That fits pretty good. I was lucky enough. I got to work on both. I had my own character on The Lion King. I did Nala, and then I jumped over and I worked with Glenn on Pocahontas, an animated Pocahontas. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. I'll just take 2 seconds.
Angry Potato says, "Hi, Dustin."
Hi. Like that little just changing the camera for a quick second, like, hi.
Hey, suggestion from Steve Coleman. Aaron. Steve says we should all change our last name to Blaise, like the Ramones.
The
And the guy Claudia is on board.
the Blaze. The Blaze Band.
Here we go.
Show the desktop, Dustin, instead of the chair.
No, I'll just keep it on the empty chair.
That way people can see the art.
And yes, the shirt I am wearing is a Trigun shirt. I love Trigun.
I was looking for my Pocahontas cell.
Can't find it.
I found it, but it's just taking too much time to pull it all out. It's delicate, so I decided not to mess with it. It's in here. Somewhere in there. I think it's those cells. Okay, here we go.
Were you close to Michael Eisner at all? And if you were, do you still keep in touch?
No, I mean, we weren't, I wouldn't say we were close. We knew each other. He knew me, I would say in passing. I think I knew Bob Iger probably a little better. Bob would sit and have lunch with Bob and I when we were at the commissary.
Over at the commissary.
Yes. Did you find it? There it is. And that's actually my shot. So,
You want to get the tissue paper behind it?
Yeah.
So it's easier to see?
so this is one of the cells. Can you switch it over, Dustin?
Yeah, so
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
This is one of the cells from Pocahontas. I don't have the background for it. But this is actually one of the, by the time we did Pocahontas, it wasn't done on cell anymore. So these are all commemorative cells that we had especially made for us. My whole box of cells got left under a window, an open window, and the sprinklers came on. This is like 15 years ago. And so there's a little bit of water damage on the edges, but the image is okay. But lucky for me that the cell that they picked, that's that's the shot that I animated of Pocahontas. So that's kind of cool. It's got Miko and Flit in there. Anyway, we were talking about Pocahontas, so I thought I'd show you my little cell. Oh yeah, this is one that for Mulan. Yeah, this has got the background. And what's neat about this is that it's got Tom Bancroft, who did Mushu, and then I did the Ancestors, and so it's got Mushu, Mushu and the man ancestor right there, which is kind of cool. Once Ken's got water damage on it. But very cool stuff. There you go, Nick. Go ahead, let's put that. Yeah, we can show that. Come on. Put that tissue back behind it.
Who was the artist you mentioned that has a degree in zoology and uses that knowledge to design creatures in Star Wars, etc.?
Yes, that's Terrell Whitlatch.
Terrell Whitlatch.
Terrell Whitlatch. There we go.
Is this making the Pauper?
Yeah, Prince and the Pauper. That's just the cell. I don't know if that was one of my drawings.
Hey, Manny just hopped on and says, hi, everyone.
Hey, Manny.
Manny. Miss you, buddy.
Oh yeah, Jessica Rabbit. There's Jessica. This is from Roller Coaster Rabbit, where she's tied up on the. This is an animated short.
Little
This
more
is
to
the
your left.
first. This is the first project I ever worked on.
A little more to your left.
I worked on this project when I was 21 years old. This is the project I became an animator on, and it's a 7.5 minute Roger Rabbit cartoon called Roller Coaster Rabbit, and she's got a little cameo where she's tied up on the tracks. That was one of my. That's actually a cell of one of my drawings.
It's got the drawing underneath it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is in the same cartoon. Roger gets shot up full of holes. He looks like Swiss cheese, and I got one of the cells for that. I didn't animate it, but I cleaned it up. It was animated by a guy named Mark Hausler, and there's the animation drawing right there. I can't pull it out any better than that. But that's the animation drawing.
Roger on the other one, right?
Yeah, Trail Mix Up. Yeah. And there's Prince and the Pauper, the Mickey. Right there. Animated Mickey in that. And here's one from the Lion King, another one of my cells. Simba and adult Nala. Adult Simba and adult Nala. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, which one's that? Oh yeah. This is when they're hiding behind Kenai, following this trail. You see that?
Yeah.
So that's the moose, Kenai and Coda. Hey, little brother. Hey, I didn't know you had a little brother. That shot. That's it. Cool, thanks.
Sweet.
So at this stage, it's kind of slow because I'm just going in and kind of warping all my shapes. And you put the whole thing together like a mosaic,
A mosaic.
A mosaic. A mosaic.
A mosaic.
Man, I like that. I think that's kind of cool. Are you digging it?
I dig it.
Can you dig it?
Yes, we dig it.
It's dynamite. I think what I might do is grab whatever color that is now. Right here. Right there. Now I'm going to go back down to the local color. I'm going to try to get it to fade up and match.
Twitch question. Hey, I'm currently watching from Madrid, Spain. Love your work and your huge inspiration to those of us starting out in the animation industry. I'm studying to be a professional storyboard artist. Any advice?
Yes. Start learning cinematography. Understand cutting. You know, telling story is one thing, but it's all about telling story through pictures, right? And so the better you are at telling stories through pictures, the better off you're going to be as a story artist. So learn about that. Learn as much as you can about that.
Speaking of Manny, I don't know if you guys said this while I was going through stuff. I believe he's hard at work on his course.
Right on. Manny Carrasco is doing a course for us, which we can't wait for. Manny. Manny.
Manny. Why is the leopard spot so different? Sorry, late joining today.
Well, here's the thing. I reversed them. Here's where it gets fun. Watch this. I'm going to take
Wait,
these.
it wasn't fun
I'm
already.
going to take these spots right out of my hair. All right, deselect.
How long did it take to make Trail Mix Up and Roller Coaster Rabbit?
How long did it take? I
A
think
day.
I wish.
7.
It was trying to think. I was on it for about 9 months, or maybe 7 months. But I mean, with all the boarding and I think it probably took a year and a half, something like that. Pam Coates is one to ask for that. I can't remember. So watch this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to knock the. I animated about the first minute of the whole thing, and then a few other scenes interspersed. I'm going to go to transform, free transform. First thing I want to do is I'm going to squash it, so we get perspective out of it. I'm going to really squash it. I'm just going to squash it. Now we're going to bring it up here, make it a little bigger. Squash it some more. Now I'm going to go to warp. I'm going to start to warp these shapes right around that leg. Go. Hit return. You see how I fit on there? I can do it just a little bit more. There we go. Ah,
What do you think you're going to call this creature?
Steve.
Steve?
calling it Steve.
Any tips for dynamic poses with big cats, especially tigers? I find it hard to get any good references. I only see jump photos.
You know, I like to make them up. I tend to push them beyond what they would probably do in nature, but I like to make them up, and I do that through. I think about comparative anatomy. I think about how would a person in the same pose be pushed, and I know there's limits to, especially in the upper part of the body where because of the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades are attached to the side of the animal rather than our shoulder blades being attached to the back, and that's why we have this ability to move our arms back behind our backs. Whereas cats can't do that, or any four-legged animal for that matter, because of the way the shoulder blades are attached. But I tend to kind of push that anyway. I'm going to take this right now, and I'm going to take all of those layers I've put together, and I'm going to combine them. So now I can come in and just clean things up a little bit.
What are your thoughts on rigged 2D
Rigid?
animation, or rigid? My mistake.
Rigged?
Like puppet animation, like they do in 2D.
It's cool. I mean, I think any kind of animation is cool as long as it's, you got
Is that
something
the
to say.
style of like Archer?
Sort of, yeah. It's what they do is instead of doing they don't do frame by frame drawings. They literally, the drawings are rigged as puppets. So, a lot of television's done that way, especially a lot of kids' cartoons. It's like anything. It can be done really well, or it can be done poorly.
Poorly. You chose poorly.
He chose poorly.
Someone mentioned that South Park is a good example of puppet animation. Yeah, it's amazing to me. I don't know if they still do it, but it boggles my mind. For the longest time, they were using Maya to make South Park.
Oh, really?
Not that it's 3D, but they were using it as the animation to do all of the rigging and the puppets and stuff like that. Now there's software specifically for it, like Adobe makes stuff for that. They were kind of ahead of the curve on.
Yeah.
There's stuff out there more specifically aimed at 2D now.
Oh. This is coming out kind of cool. I'm digging it. Next thing we got to do is get the shadows in. We're an hour and a half in. We're doing all right.
Don't forget about the tail.
I won't. I still got to do the back end of the animal here.
I'm really liking the effect of those spots, Aaron.
Yeah, me too.
People are
Thanks.
really liking it.
Hey, thanks, man.
By the way, I also put a poll up about whether or not people like the cursor highlighter, and 90% said yes.
Oh, good.
So that's a keeper. If it's not too distracting to you.
No, I'm getting used to it. All right, so now
Twitch question: what canvas size are you working on?
18 by 24 inches, 300 DPI.
That's what this is set at.
Yes.
I wasn't sure with the photo reference. If
No, the photo. Oh shoot! What happened?
you cropped it into those dimensions or whatever.
Oh, I see. Select, deselect. There we go. No, my image that I'm creating is 18 by 24.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, 300 DPI.
Why has there never been a full feature film of Mickey? I thought they did. No, was it
No, I've never done a real feature. I don't know. I don't think I
they've done,
can stand. I
DVD stuff
couldn't
like
stand
this.
an hour and a half of Mickey myself.
Mm. And a question for Nick: do you have any artistic background?
Yeah, I went to Ringling for computer animation. I taught at Ringling for 5 years, which Ringling's an art college. So yeah, I was trained in animation and illustration and drawing and all that. I'm just rusty as heck
Watch your mouth, man. This is a family show.
You should just said I just read the ad.
Twitch question: have you saved yet?
Nope. But I will. As I get my shapes in here. Here. Check it out now. I'm going to fill that gap so I don't have to do it later. There we go. Don't like it.
Are there any interesting stories about Freddie Moore?
I mean, poor guy was he was an amazing artist, but he had a lot of drinking demons. That's how he died. He ended up falling out of a car and smacking his head on the pavement.
Oof.
But man, he was a hell of an artist.
I don't think I've ever heard the name before.
Yeah, he was a basic kind of before the original Nine Old Men. He was one of the, well, I mean, the later Nine Old Men. He was one of the original guys back in the 30s, early 30s. And yeah, Freddie, he's the guy that he designed the dwarves and.
Oh, okay.
He just had this really beautiful, fluid, squishy way of drawing characters.
When should you pick RGB or CMYK color?
One is for print, the other one is for digital, right?
Yeah, traditionally speaking, CMYK is for if you're going out to physical print. Like our book everything had to be converted to CMYK in the end because it's a 4-color printing process.
You know, to be honest with you, I don't even pay attention to what I'm doing. So I have no, like right now, I couldn't tell you which one I'm doing.
Yeah. You know, it really only comes into play if you're looking for very specific color type matching situations. You know, I think with most of today's digital art, it's less of a concern than it used to be, but I'm sure there'll be people out there that'll get punching the screen right now and be saying that.
Reflex punching the screen.
Of all your colleagues that you've worked with, which one impressed you the most as the greatest artist?
Jim Jackson. It's got to be Jim Jackson.
The 11th man to walk on the moon?
Yeah. You guys got to look up Jim Jackson because the man's amazing.
Twitch question. Is there a way to get better at acting for animation, specifically facial expressions? Is it just a matter of practice and experience, or are there any good things to keep in mind while doing it?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just keeping it natural, being honest with what the shot is trying to be and act it out accordingly. The biggest mistake that young animators make is that they overact. They're trying to get things to move, and because animation means they got to move stuff around. Well, no, animation is not moving stuff around. Animation is bringing things to life. And so often we are not moving around when we're emoting. Sometimes we're just sitting there absolutely still. And that's bringing things to life. And so it's knowing when to do that, when to hold back, when to be expressive. Those are the things that's probably the biggest piece of advice. I've got a course on specifically that on the website.
Yeah, I just posted a link to the Acting for Animation course, which, by the way, if you become a member, either streaming or annual member, it's available on both memberships. So, or you can buy it on its own. Try to make it easy. Whatever works for you.
Deadlift here says, "Hey guys, loving this fantasy creature."
Hey, thank you. Now, here's the fun part. I could do this, or I can go, hey, let's see what happens if it looks stronger. You like the stronger version? You like this, or this? This, or this?
I
like that one.
I've got a lag, so.
Or I could do a combination. I turn this on and then let it fade.
People say stronger, in between the two.
Yeah, so I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to let it fade out. I'm erasing the top layer.
Stronger.
Yeah, I'm liking the stronger as well.
I would say fade out the head too, because it looks a little strong in the head.
A little strong in the head.
Yeah.
How's that? I can even go, let me do this.
Someone's saying, can we get a close-up view, like a pan and scan, just to see the...
How about if I take off some of the, like that?
Yeah.
I got a long way to go, so I'm gonna pan and scan a little bit, but I'm actually gonna the stuff I have to do now. It's gonna pull together pretty quick.
What Don Bluth movie is your favorite? I grew up with
Secret of Nim.
Huh?
Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
That will always be my favorite.
That one and 5 Goes West are my favorite classics, but I also love Titan AE. So I love sci-fi.
Five Goes West. No one likes Five Goes West as a classic.
I love Final Goes West. I love the second one too.
The Five Goes West is the
second one. That's right. I love Five Comes to America or whatever the hell it's called.
An American Tale.
American Tale. Five Comes to America.
Yeah. I love.
I like Five. Well, people are getting mad at me. I like Five Go West too, but when people say classics, they usually say the first one. That's all I.
Yeah. But yeah, and Anastasia Bartok has to be one of my favorite characters of Don Bluth.
Bartok? Oh, the bat.
Oh, sure, blame the bat. What the heck? We're easy targets.
Well, you know that one. That was Robin Williams, right?
No, it wasn't Robin.
Oh, it was Frank Azaria? Frank Azaria?
I think so, yeah. He does like half the voices of Simpsons.
All right, so we got this far. Let's go ahead. I'm looking at the lighting. The lighting is kind of off in the background in three. If we look at the shadow of the branch, it's kind of behind, it's up above the frame and behind our character. So if I put a layer on top, and we're going to set this to multiply, and I'm going to put that right about there, I think.
If you didn't have Photoshop, how would you approach the spots with traditional art? You just have to draw them, right?
I draw them, yeah.
Check out last week's stream where he drew a leopard in charcoal.
That's how I would have done it.
Do you find that you act out the character's motions as you animate them?
Yep.
Actually, the leopard drawing right behind you on the screen. I just realized.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to let the sun shine through that. Let the sun shine.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
You make me happy.
Happy when the skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you.
Let's see here.
One of your elusive cats just walked by me. The cat never comes in here during a live stream.
Kitsy, kitsy.
Yeah.
Pandora says, "Oh boy, I came for the art, but I'll stay for the karaoke."
Is it true Milt Call and Mark Davis were the best draftsmen at the Disney studio?
Yes. Yes. Oops. The green dot does throw me off because it doesn't change size. So I think half the time I'm thinking that my eraser or my pencil is that size, and it's not.
Yeah, that's just because I think it would be jarring for the viewer if it was changes, but it is way easier to see where your brush is at and what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
That's one comment we've gotten on our courses over the years. Like, I can't see what he's doing.
Well, we gotta fix that. We gotta fix that.
Were you ever asked to do Imagineering, or did you ever have an interest to do that?
I never really had an interest. Yes, I've been asked, and but no, I never really had an interest in it.
You were asked?
Yeah, just for like some freelance work that I did a while back. But I ended up not doing the job because it was just too big, and I wasn't interested in it.
Not
It was
interested.
a big like stage show, nighttime extravaganza kind of show that they actually wanted me to help them out with the story aspect of it.
What's your favorite Peanuts character?
Um, uh, Mr. Peanut.
Steve likes him so much he got a tattoo.
Yeah. Snoopy. I love Snoopy. So what I'm doing now is just hitting all the shadow areas. Where I think the shadows should be. I think they should be darker.
Did you pull colors from the photo to make your palette?
No. No, I made my own palette, and then I went to because I find that you can just do your own palette, and when you get to using the photos will have their own colors, and you end up with something that's richer. It's kind of cool.
Who do you think was the better dresser, Milt Kahl or Freddie Moore?
Milk call.
Do you have a favorite color and why?
Not really.
I don't think we've ever been asked what's your favorite color.
I mean, I tend to respond to like a teal color for some reason. It's like blue green that really I just love, but not really. So now we're getting some shading in there, which feels pretty good. I can still go a touch darker in areas, but I'm going to save that.
If you had to complete this sentence, what would you fill in the blank with? Every good animator should be blank.
Every good animator should be, well, it depends on what kind of animation you're talking about. If you're talking about a 2D animator, I think every good animator needs to be a good draftsman, but not necessarily anymore with
CG animation.
CG animation. So every good animator should be a great actor. I know it's a cliche, but I believe it.
How about every good animator should be paid well?
Yeah. Wishes. Okay, so I'm going to do another layer on top. I'm going to set this to overlay. And I'm going to try to lighten up a few areas. That sun is bright and warm.
Do you ever, this is just a personal question. I know you usually have to kind of adjust your lighting to match the photography also, but do you ever try to paint shadows in on the photography to match your...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, while working on Brother Bear, who was it that suggested all the different totems for Three Brothers, and why did they get the totems that they got?
Well, each brother represents a different aspect of the story, you know, and that's exactly what they got. I mean, Kenai needs to learn to love outside of himself, to learn, you know, to get over his prejudice of bears. You know, Sitka, who dies, he needs to understand his role as a guide, to guide his brothers.
Are you using the pastel C or are you using the other brush?
I'm using the pastel C right now.
But what about Denahi's the Tome of Wisdom, Wolf of Wisdom?
Well, he needs to understand that because he was following his wisdom all along, but then he loses his way when when he perceives that Kenai is killed, and he questions all of that, and so he needs to learn that he was right all along.
And were those totems your idea?
I can't remember what that became such an integral part of the story. I can't remember where it came from. I mean, totems are such a big that became part of our early research, so it's hard to say where the idea of us using them in the movie. I can't remember where it came from.
Did you prefer living in California or Florida?
Florida.
Oh, hands down.
And I find that across the board. People from Florida don't enjoy California as much usually. That's not, and I know that there's, you know, people are going to be out there going, not true. But the people that came out from California that transferred to Florida when I was working at the studio. They generally didn't like being in Florida.
I really think part of that is the people from California are just wrong. No. No, what I was going to say, I really do think there is a East Coast and West Coast vibe.
Oh,
I just think there's a different.
Yeah. But I do miss all my friends out there in California.
So now what I like to do is knock the drawing part of it back. I'm going to turn off the scribble there. And just see where I need to go in and define.
If you wanted to work on Tarzan, I heard you said you wanted to work on Kerchak as you animated big characters and good at drawing animals. What makes you interested in his design and bruteness?
I just loved that big design of his. It was really interesting, and I think Bruce Smith was the animator on him, and I really liked Bruce Smith's work. And oops. And that's pretty much why. Bruce Smith is a brilliant animator. Now I'm going through and hitting like reflected light areas.
I'm all out of question. I'm lost without you. Waiting for so long. Any new questions over there, Nia?
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
You worry about your questions. Don't worry about over here.
Okay. It's so quiet.
It's okay to be quiet.
Good to be quiet. Sometimes people like to just watch the drawing.
I just snorted. Did you hear that?
I heard it. Getting a little sleepy, are you?
Oh no. I don't fall asleep while I'm drawing, although I'm probably not far from that.
You almost have a couple
know.
of times while drawing.
If you wanted to work on, did you already ask a question about Kerchak, Justin?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
How dangerous is the cassowary, the flightless bird in Australia?
They're pretty dangerous. They can rip you open if they want.
Really?
Yeah.
What are the cassowary again?
It's a big
Oh,
blue-headed.
the ones with the blue heads?
They're kind of like a big
Yeah.
emu,
Oh, right. Okay.
which are also extremely dangerous. If you ever look at their feet, it's like, yeah, those are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
What did you learn the hard way in animation?
Everything. There is no easy way in animation. You learn everything the hard way.
YouTube question: do you ever use the smudge tool to paint?
Not really. Oh, actually, no. I take that back. No, I use that a fair amount. Actually, I was thinking of the blur tool. No, the smudge tool I use to you know mess some areas up and I'll also do a blur effect with the smudge tool rather than using the blur tool.
Have you ever wanted to draw a banshee from the movie Avatar? Banshees are the flying things that they ride.
Oh yeah, I love those things.
What would you do if drawing was not a career option for you?
I'd probably be a musician.
Since it's close to Halloween, I've heard there's a lot of spooky myths surrounding Disney. Did you ever experience anything spooky?
No. No, I never did.
You never saw Walt's frozen head?
Never saw Walt's frozen head. Never experienced anything out of the ordinary or weird. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. You know, I'm going to jump over to fur.
Well,
I'm going to go to a fur brush. Let's do this. I'm going to That's not the right brush. Doggone it. Feels better. It's getting better all the time.
Do you ever draw in Procreate or do you mainly use Photoshop?
I use Procreate occasionally.
We have a whole course on Procreate.
We have a whole course on Procreate. I'm just getting to that. But I mainly use Photoshop just because it's convenient for me. Yeah, that's got some nice fur texture to it.
Because you're usually at your desktop, but when you're on the go, you absolutely use
When I'm on the go, I use Procreate for sure.
or traditional sketchbooks.
Yep. Just adding a little bit of texture in here.
no texture.
A little bit of fur texture with my fur brushes. There. I'm going to come back now to my regularly scheduled program. Go. Really get these dark areas.
What did you think of Rhapsody in Blue and Fantasia 2000 with the influence work on Al Hirschfield?
Yeah, I liked it. It's one of Eric's pieces.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eric Goldberg did that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I really like that Eric did not too long ago was his Get a Horse short, where it's the 2D 3D combination with Mickey.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think that was in front of Frozen.
Yeah, it was. That's probably one of, if not the best short I ever saw, just because of that. Because that beautiful mix of 2D and 3D.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another one I really liked was the day and night, where one character was day, another character was night,
Uh-huh.
and the characters themselves were 2D animated, but everything inside of them were CG.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one?
Mm-hmm. It's Pixar.
Yeah. Can't remember what was in front of that one, or what that was in front of for, though.
It was a Pixar movie.
Yeah. I think it probably was like Toy Story 3?
May have been. I can't remember what it was either. So I'm just going in and emphasizing some of the spots, trying to make them my own a little bit.
And Fantasia 2000
Yep,
was
you're
Brad-
right. Toy Story 3.
It was Toy Story 3?
Nailed it.
Is Rhapsody in Blue the... which one was that
It's
one?
it's the subway one, right?
Yeah, and like the city. It's like
Yeah, the
it's like
city
the
and
whole
all that.
city.
Oh,
The kid wanting to learn piano and music and
I really like that one.
yeah.
Gershwin.
Hi, Aaron and team. Hi.
Hi.
Will be great to see your approach slash course about animating two characters interacting together, like a fight or some physical.
Well, funny
interaction.
you say that because we got that coming up.
It's part of the course Aaron is working on right now.
Of course, we're not going to say that because we want to keep it a little secret what we're doing.
But we just said it.
That's all right. You don't know. No one knows the details.
No one knows the deets. That's what the kids say. Deets.
Yeah. There. Well, kind of liking this head, how it's coming out. Getting better all the time. Man, I am hooked on the Great British Baking Show, Bake Off. Random, I know, but I'm hooked on that show.
That was completely random.
Welcome to 2 years ago, Aaron.
Oh, it's a new season this year.
I know, but that's when it was like,
Oh, I know. During COVID.
no, even before that.
Okay, go ahead and correct me, Nick.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Whoops.
What was that?
That's a Trump. That's a trumpet.
Is that trying to come to your butt? Hello. Like a spider fan.
The spider fin. I forgot about the spider fin.
Actually, Martinberger was asking about that earlier. What noise would this make, and would it sound like a spider fin?
It would just sound like, have you watched Portrait Artist of the Year?
No.
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Hey, Aaron, has anyone ever sent a photo of a tattoo of your work on them?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Several times.
Wow.
Why do you think Glenn Keane was the most popular? Was it his skill level or was it his personality?
His personality and his skill level. I mean, his skill level is top notch, but I think he really encompassed the spirit of not just Disney and the company, but the spirit of animation.
Is there something you've always hated drawing?
Everything.
It's an interesting question. No, I don't know that there's anything I've ever hated drawing. There's things that I struggle drawing. I still struggle with hands. But no, I can't think of anything that I've hated drawing. Three ten. We're 2 hours in.
Yep.
We'll give it another 30 minutes.
That's 30. About the tattoo stuff, do you say nice stuff, or do you ask for the tattoo's details to start a copyright theft case?
No, what? No, I don't start a copyright theft case.
You've had people also ask if they have your permission to get.
Yeah, but I mean, they've always got my permission. I don't care. I consider it an honor.
Twitch question: are you into speculative biology or evolution at all?
I think it's kind of cool.
I mean, what you're doing right now is kind of
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing now.
What do you think this evolved from?
Something completely different than anything that we know.
Because that beak definitely gives off like a vulture parrot kind of vibe, especially with those feathers in the back. The very parrot.
We said those are feathers.
They look like feathers.
They're just long strips.
Along what?
They're just long strips at this point.
spikes. They could be anything.
They could be green, they could be brown, they could be blah blah blah. Whatever. What's that thing they do on TikTok all the time now?
I don't follow TikTok.
Or not TikTok, but or they actually they do it on TikTok, but they also do it on. Oh, sorry, don't let me insult you, Dustin.
Do you ever get inspiration from video games? And if so, what games?
No,
Aaron's not a gamer.
I'm not a gamer.
Why did Disney invent the xerography process?
Because it
Wait.
would save on inking time. It takes forever to ink all those cells by hand, and so if they could just Xerox the drawings, then they would save a ton of man hours, and man hours equates to money. So it'd be a lot cheaper. And I think there's something to be said about, every time it's like a copy machine. Every time someone redraws a drawing, a little something gets lost in the translation. And so the less you can recopy, the less you have to recopy it, the better.
Do you guys have any plans for Halloween?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in the front yard, pull up my fire pit, get a fire going, buy two or three giant boxes of full-size candy bars, make a little drinky poo, and sit and hand out candy and become a neighborhood hero because I'm handing out full-size candy bars.
We don't need another hero.
It's one thing I'm missing about our old house that we just sold, because over the last 6 years that's what I've done is I've sat at the end of my driveway, get a fire going, I make drinks for myself and whoever's hanging out with me, and I hand out full-size candy bars, and boy, we had such a good reputation. The kids loved us. They're not going to know what to do this year.
Did you animate and supervise any Shenpo and Ling scenes
No,
in Mulan?
no, that was Bruce Johnson. I just did
Yao and the head ancestor.
Yeah.
All the
did Yao and the head ancestor and all the ancestors.
among the ancestors, did you do the head ancestor the most?
Yeah, he had the most footage.
Somebody said there's going to be a lot of disappointed kids at the old house. Hopefully, they don't egg the new owners. It was actually Erica said that.
And someone else wrote, "Oh, the big candy bar guy moved."
Someone on Twitch says, full-size candy bar. Your neighbors never even stood a chance.
They were done for.
What name would you give the creature you're currently drawing?
I don't know.
Cat eagle.
Catigal.
A kegel.
A Kegel.
Half cat, half eagle.
A Kegel. Do you know what a Kegel is, Dustin?
No. Should I have not said it?
It's funny.
I mean, I'll just shut up now.
I thought you were being funny. That's even funnier that you weren't being funny.
Yep.
I mean, I was trying to be funny, but it's not in that way. Because I was like, I did not know what I was saying.
Someone says it's a leopard. Like a happy bird.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, look at that.
And here's a suggestion for your Halloween. Brussels sprouts covered with chocolate to prank the kids.
I've seen those.
Who came up with the Hakuna Matata in Lion King for the song?
I have no idea. It's one of those things that it just, as you research, you discover things. That would be one of the first things they discovered.
Is that Hakuna Matata actually does mean no worries in Swahili?
Exactly. You go to Africa, they actually say it.
Hakuna Matata.
Jumbo.
Jumbo. Asante sana. Asante sana, squash banana wheel.
You don't even know who you are.
What's your favorite song by Queen?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Although I like Bicycle. I like Bicycle.
That's a good one.
Pretty much anything.
The Show Must Go On is really good too.
I like
Yeah.
don't Stop Me
Oh,
Now.
Who Wants to Live Forever?
Yeah,
From Highlander.
yeah.
Don't Stop Me Now is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Don't stop me now. Steve does that one at karaoke.
Probably Who Wants to Live Forever, because that one really, that could get to you when you think about it, especially if you've ever lost anybody. So getting some value changes in the spots really helps to round out the character.
For a lot of people just joining us, I want to remind them we're having a sale over at creatureartteacher.com. Our annual membership and our streaming memberships are both on sale, and those include over 450 hours of art and animation lessons, including digital painting courses, character design courses, Photoshop lessons, character design, all kinds of stuff, animal drawing. So if you go to creatureartteacher.com, it's 40% off our monthly streaming plan or $70 off our annual membership.
Cooking lessons.
And we also still got the pen and ink app going on, right?
Yeah, because it's still Inktober, our pen and ink course is 30% off as well. And that's where Aaron kind of takes you through his process of drawing a ballpoint pen
And whatnot.
and
And
whatnot,
whatnot.
as well as brush pen, right? Those
Yeah.
are the-
Who's your favorite Disney villain, whether it's the modern or old ones?
Probably Maleficent. I like Stromboli too.
What the movie Treasure Planet, would John Silver be considered a villain in a way?
Long John Silver.
Yeah,
Yes. But he redeemed himself.
yeah.
Aaron, are you going to add shading on the tree to match where the creature's at?
Yes. Just have to add a little bit. Just a little bit.
How did the animators animate the pink elephant sequence in Dumbo and lay it out? Did they lay it out and then do it on a black background?
I have no idea.
How did they even lay it out on a black background? Is what? Sorry, I misread the question. But
I don't know. Like they could have. They that's not that wouldn't be that hard to do. Not sure how they did it.
what year was Dumbo?
I think 1942 to 43. I can't remember.
Is that their second movie? Was it Snow White, then Dumbo, then
No, Snow White, Pinocchio.
Snow White, Pinocchio? I was going to say, was it Snow White, Pinocchio, then Dumbo, or Snow White, Dumbo,
Yeah, I
Pinocchio?
think you have to look that one up. I can't remember. My Disney history is terrible.
Yeah, were you asking about the pink elephants?
Yeah.
Someone said, "What's your favorite Disney villain?" That question. I always liked Jafar.
Yeah. I thought he was pretty good.
I liked
I liked him.
I like Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Now, see, that'd actually be my least favorite, but it's because it's too realistic.
That guy was a perv.
Yeah, he's very dark.
Can you pull me out a diet while you're in there?
Is there a root beer?
On the bottom, in the bottom tray. In the bottom drawer. What?
They're all probably in the.
I was like, that doesn't look like the same drawer I had in my head.
In the fridge up further out back.
Yeah.
Did you work with your brother in Florida or California or both?
Florida. We don't work together anymore.
Never see your cats compared. I see both of them today. And then the other one.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thanks, man.
Opening of cans.
Bring it back around.
I'm having a sour beer
Oh, yeah.
just because I saw it in the fridge.
Do you like those?
They're okay. Margarita Ghost. Refreshingly tart. Cigar City Brewing Company.
Refreshingly tart.
It's Friday.
You're darn right it is. Cuckoo cuckoo.
Did you work with your brother in Florida or California or both?
Yeah, we got Dustin already.
Oh,
asked.
sorry.
That's
That
okay.
was
You
when I
weren't here.
stepped out of the room.
Stay on my territory.
I deserve that. I deserve that.
Realize any reused scenes in Robin Hood or from other movies, such as Maid Marian dancing with the Merry Men in
Yeah,
Sherwood?
Jungle Book. It's all through Jungle Book too.
Yeah.
So what's the question?
But did you ever notice that they reused?
Oh yeah,
things like that?
we all knew about it. Yeah.
Someone says the best Disney villain is Professor Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
yeah.
that's not a bad one. Once again, Glenn Keane.
To Ratkin, the world's greatest rat.
I don't know how you remember all these lines.
I don't either. I think it's just because I watched it so much when I was younger.
That was one of the tests I had to do in order to get hired at Disney. It was an in-between test, and it was what's his name? The main character taking off his coat and putting it on the hanger. Ironically enough.
YouTube suggestion. Hey Aaron, how about adding a yellow fur near the corner of its mouth or beak, just like birds that have that yellow thing at the end of their beak?
The yellow thing at the end of their beak? You mean on the mouth?
I think that's what they mean, yeah.
Well, let's see how would that look. You got to think of it being in shadow.
While you're doing that, is there a fairy tale that Disney hasn't done that you would like to see them take on in 2D?
I can't say that there is.
You're not a fairy tale guy, really. I mean, that's Brother Bear's not a fairy tale.
No, I wanted to write my own.
Yep.
But I don't know. There you go. That's kind of cool. Right there.
From Amanda Neal, hello Aaron. My boyfriend keeps having this recurring dream where he purchases a Ferrari only for it to turn up at our house with an irremovable roof rack. What does this mean?
Well,
I think it means you want to travel somewhere
yeah, in style.
in style. Can you imagine doing a road trip in a Ferrari with
Yeah.
a roof rack?
Yeah, man.
What was your favorite cartoon when you were a kid, Aaron?
The Warner Brothers cartoons, Coyote, Bugs Bunny, Daffy. Those are all my favorites. My first Disney film I saw in the theater was Robin Hood, 1973, when it came out. I think it may have been one of the first movies I saw in the theater. I think it was with my grandfather that I saw it.
Tell us about the tests you would take at Disney. Did they ask you to take them, or did you request it? And
No, we had to take it in order to see if we had the abilities that they needed for us to get hired for the job that we were interviewing for. Well,
And
not
who would-
interviewing, but
who would review them?
training for. The other artists that were there.
What kind of testing exercises were they?
It was in betweening.
Just in between?
Yeah,
Was it one scene, two scenes?
just there was like 4 drawings.
Well, it's drawings, but like, how many different sequences did you have to?
That was it. We
Just the
did
one?
Yeah, just the one.
Oh,
They
simple
just
enough.
they just picked something that was complex, and to see if we could do it.
From Allison Stevens, best Disney villain hands down is Yzma.
You know, Yzma is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I gotta give you that.
Pull the lever, Crunk. But Crunk has to be the best henchman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that, Yzma.
But that was what's her face? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank now. I did her voice. Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a great Catwoman, too.
Yep.
And I was one of my favorite songs of hers that she's performed. It was like back in the what was it, 60s. This is her song "I Want to Be Evil." Really good song. Cord also says, "Don't forget about Ursula." And he'll sing "Hades, man." Hades was really good too.
Ursula was a great villain, too.
Yeah.
A lot of personality.
Disney's just full of great villains.
Meg, my little nut, Meg.
You literally just told Dustin, I don't know how you remember all these lines. And then
Yeah, that's just one that stood out. My little nut, Meg.
Did you ever meet Howard Ashman?
No, I never did.
someone says the leader of the Huns in Mulan was a pretty great villain.
Shan Yu.
Shen Yu.
Mm.
Funny.
It's
That
interesting.
could have been you, Aaron. That could have been you.
Could have been me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting how little you see Shan Yu in
Yeah, you don't really see him that much.
Uh,
So when you were doing the original villain for that,
Yeah,
and I know that the Shen Yu was actually still a character at that time,
right,
and you were doing the general who was like a traitor, right? Bao
right.
Gong?
Yeah, Balgung. He
What
had
was
more footage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what was the story?
I can't remember. It's so blurred now. Everything's run into it, but I can't. He was running interference behind the emperor's back in order to take. I can't remember. I can't remember at all. I just can't remember.
was DreamWorks' Ants the answer to A Bug's Life at Pixar?
No,
As the film's-
DreamWorks Ants was Jeffrey Katzenberg trying to screw over Disney.
Yeah, people don't realize he had left Disney, and that was
That was him going.
he knew they were making a bunch
Yeah,
of
so he was trying to ruin them by doing what he did.
Were there any villains in Brother Bear?
I don't like telling stories with traditional villains. So the villain in Brother Bear is also is the hero. He's his own villain. The whole movie is about him having to learn the error of his ways.
It reminds me a lot of Hayao Miyazaki's characters in his movies, his Studio Ghibli.
Studio
Because
Ghibli.
especially in Princess Mononoke, because everyone in that movie are heroes and villains in their own rights.
Yeah.
YouTube question. I love this style. Can you please explain about the textures?
Textures. Well,
I think they mean how you're getting realism.
the textures come about through I steal them, I photo bash them from other sources. Right now I'm creating shadows on the log underneath the drawing, the character layer.
You remember Zira in Lion King 2, Simba's Pride?
No, I never watched Lion King 2. Believe it or not. But back to this. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to finish this stuff.
Oh, sorry.
So
I
it's
thought
all
you
right.
were done.
I was doing my typical old man comments. But it's a lot of just photo bashing, grabbing textures from other sources, and bringing them in, other photographic textures, I should say, and bringing them in, and by getting it to meld with the drawing. Now, what some of the things I'll do as well is I'll manipulate the photograph to get it to come back in and kind of meet somewhere in the middle with the drawing. I'll blur areas and that sort of thing, which I haven't done yet. Hey, look, there's a little random hand sticking out right there. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
He's sitting on a baboon.
Well, it's interesting how well that blends in if you're not looking.
Yeah,
for it.
that's why I just left it. Actually, I'm gonna make that kind of a.
This is the first time I've seen you blending a character into an actual photographic background. I love it.
I used to do this a lot with other characters.
You've done it on a few streams in the past, but it's been a
Yeah,
while.
I
It's
just
been a
haven't
while.
done it in a while.
The last one I remember was with the photo that I took when we were doing the course for the I think it was like fairy design or something like that.
Yeah. All right, so now I've got to, let's see here.
When you were working at Disney, you've talked about going home at night and painting to show your working galleries.
Yes,
Do you think that helped advance your career at Disney as well?
I think it did. Yeah, because I kept my, it kept me going in other mediums and kept me fresh, I think. So yeah,
Oh, I'll give you a perfect example. The 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 grizzly bear painting that's the inspiration for Brother Bear, right?
oh yeah, that's right. It's true. You got a good point.
For those that don't know, he's mentioned it on previous streams. There's a oil painting that he did in Alaska of a grizzly bear, and that he ran that into Tom Schumacher's office and was like, "I want to make a movie like this."
Yep,
I'm
and it
paraphrasing.
helped me get the role. Absolutely. There, that's working a little better. Better cheddar.
KK.
How do you combine multiple creatures to make a natural looking fictional creature?
Um, it's mixing them in ways that seem logical. Now you can get over logical, and all of a sudden you just end up with something that looks like everything else. And that's kind of what I was running into when I first started this one. Is I I ended up with just kind of a deformed looking cat, and I had to really force myself because my thing is I start thinking about the logic of the environment and how an animal would evolve in this environment. And then so as I start thinking about it, I end up with an animal that looks like the animals that have evolved in that environment. So I got to force myself to step out of it a little bit.
I know you're still working on it, but I just noticed when I had it in a small thumbnail, the it looks a little flat where the arm is the bent arm.
Yes, right here in the middle.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Are you talking? Because I think I need to go darker behind it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just not popping from the.
Yep, right back here.
Yeah.
I concur.
I didn't really notice it until I happened to have it
I
smaller.
agree wholeheartedly.
Would the tips you mentioned for animation illustration be useful for children's book illustration at all?
Which ones?
Mentioned for animation illustration,
Just the character design.
just
tips.
character design.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like any of those tips, would those be useful for a children's book?
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's too much color.
The face is really looking well defined though. Looks nice.
Thanks. It's getting too dark under the belly now. I gotta do something. Let me get rid of that because I don't like that. I know what I need to do. Hey, I know what I need to do.
Do you?
Although that did bring the arm out more.
It did, but
It's too much.
the local color of that fur underneath should be later, so I got to just brighten the arm is what I need to do. Dun-dun-dun-dun-bum-bum.
Twitch comment: the way the body's leaning downwards on its left side, it could be an idea to have its rear leg sloped down, hanging on the other side of the tree. It's actually not a bad idea.
He
Lot more
could,
jump.
except he's already in his position.
I think they're thinking the other leg could be hanging down even the way he's sitting. Is what they're getting at. The leg on the back side of the animal.
Right.
But
I gotcha.
I still think just for the fun of it, you should cut the baboons out and see what they look like on top.
I think I will.
Might look silly, but could be super cool.
I think I will.
And then you just give the baboon a helmet, put some reins in its hand.
It's getting there.
What's one of which of Mark Davis's works in animation and Imagineering are your favorites?
Well, I love the stuff he did for Bambi. Probably some of my favorite stuff. All his little character designs he did.
Imagineering, it's got to be Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, he did.
Emma Judson says it is a bit disconcerting that you can see the baboon's hand sticking out under his belly.
We're getting there. There. I snorted.
Which Harry Potter character and movie is your favorite?
Not quite a big fan. I don't know. You tell me, Dustin.
I don't really have a favorite Harry Potter.
I've never really gotten into him.
Probably first one, but
Probably the only one in the world.
I think the one that I remember best is Hagrid.
Did they say character or movie?
Both.
Hagrid is a character.
No, I know. I was just.
They're asking about both.
Yeah.
I think my favorite of the movies is Prisoner of Azkaban, the third one,
Oh yeah.
where they do the time travel and all that.
The longer Aaron perfects this creature, the more I want to pet the creature. Erica Bay says I haven't even seen Harry Potter.
Really?
Wow.
They're fun.
It's such a big piece of pop culture. It's like saying never seen Star Wars. That's pretty wild. That's wild, wild stuff there, Erica Bay. Wild stuff.
Some wild, wild stuff. Did you ever see a Star Wars?
A Star Wars.
I illustrate in pencil and color with alcohol pens,
Uh-huh.
but I'm trying to transition to digital. Not quite working though. Do you think I just haven't found the right digital brushes yet, or that I just need much more practice?
Practice. You should be able to do it with any brush. So the brushes, it just takes time. Don't hurry. Don't rush it. There's no magic. Everybody asks, when they see a successful illustration, that I get asked all the time after I've done something that people like, oh, what brush was that? It doesn't matter what brush it was. I use the same brushes on every painting.
Erica says, responded saying, I know, but I love Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like Lord of the Rings a lot more.
Did you draw made-up creatures when you were a boy too?
Oh yeah. That's the thing. This is just an extension of me being a child.
How do you battle against getting burnt out?
I don't get burned out. Now I do a variety of stuff all the time. Maybe that's how. But I really don't get burned out. I love what I do too much.
How did the song Welcome in Brother Bear develop as the fishing song was cut and not used?
I can't remember. I'm trying to remember how that all came about. The fishing song was meant to be like an old Irish kind of pubby drinking song. That was kind of the model that Phil was thinking about as he wrote it. Like everyone's getting together after, and celebrating with the songs that you sing, like you do, or people used to do. But as far as why we switched it, oh my gosh, I can't remember. There's so many story issues that come along, through the course of making these films that require you to change an idea. And it's so hard 15 years later to remember why we did this thing or that thing.
You recently played for me the demo CD from Phil Collins with a bunch of the music on it.
I did, yes.
Man, I wish we could somehow play some of that for people, but
It'd probably get flagged,
I
wouldn't it?
think that would probably get shut down in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless we somehow get Phil to actually come on the stream and say it's okay.
Yeah. There we go. I think we're getting pretty close here.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's I'm gonna mess around with a little bit of show you some things that I like to do.
I feel like the tail needs a little more.
Oh, it does. I haven't touched the tail,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do something here. All right, so I'm gonna turn this one on off. I'm gonna turn this one on. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna blow this up so you guys can see it. I'm gonna go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I think I'm gonna blur it out about that much. You hit OK. All right, so now I'm gonna turn on this top one, which is on. It's on top. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my eraser. Oops. And I'm gonna go on top here. I'm gonna slowly start to erase away some of the foreground stuff on the bottom. Get a little bit of blur.
Any plans on the animal farm course?
Almost, this is almost, it turns into almost like a tilt shift. No, nothing yet.
Still on the to-do list.
You
What did
can
you
see I
think?
can get like a little, see I'm getting a little bit of a blur effect on there, like a shallow depth of field.
Yeesh.
And then the other thing I can do on here is erase all of this background. Now it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but it's softening. I'm getting an even softer. There we go.
And it's really looking like if you shot it like an
Yeah.
f2.8 or something. Very shallow.
So now I can go in with the cat or whatever the animal is.
What's your zodiac sign, Aaron?
Aquarius.
This is the dawning of
The age of Aquarius. Yes.
What did you
yes.
think of the movie Dinosaur 20 years ago? I thought it was great and emotional too. I really liked it.
Well, to be honest, I remember seeing it and I couldn't remember what I watched when I walked out of the theater. It really did. The story made no impact on me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, take that, I'm going to put it all into one folder. So we've got that. And I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to merge it. Shoot. Let me stop that for a second. Let me go down here. Where is it?
What's your favorite Jim Carrey film? Ace Ventura, hands down.
Truman Show's pretty great. Liar, Liar.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a classic.
The Mask is awesome.
Yep.
Ace Ventura is probably the one I've seen the most, so.
Yeah.
Like a glove.
HDS, and how are you this afternoon, sir? All right. I have a package for you.
All right, I just gotta work this out here. Let me do this. Because I want to merge that together. But it just changes some of my shadows here. So I got to change those. It's okay, we'll fix that in just a minute. Fix all of this. I'm gonna fix all of it. You'll see. There we go.
So why are you doing everything around the feet, but not the feet themselves?
I'm erasing. I had some shadow areas that were indicated, but and they were set to multiply. But when I merge those together, for some reason, it doesn't retain that property. It makes everything. It knocks everything back to normal, and so I have to go back and erase out the areas that I had set to multiply.
Sean would like to know, are you doing the one last thing yet?
No, I'm not there yet. But I am almost there.
This art reminds me of the time I took a photo of a hole in the yard because I could seriously see a fairy in there. Anyone here have a habit of illustrating on photos? I've never done it before. Well, Aaron does.
Doing what?
Illustrating on photos, like you're doing right now.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Were you combining specific animals for this or just something from your head?
Something from my head.
Why are Cape buffalo easier for lions to hunt on the Africa savanna than the other big cats, or even like a hyena?
Say that again.
Why are Cape buffalo easier for lions to hunt?
Why are they?
Yeah, like why is it easier for lions to get Cape buffalo?
It's
than-
not. They don't get Cape buffalo very often. I don't know where you got that information, but that's wrong.
and wrong.
No, they don't. They don't get Cape buffalo unless there's a whole bunch of them. Lions, that is.
Dragon Dreams on Twitch says, just so you know, if you use your multiply layers, etc., as a clipping mask, when you merge, it won't revert back to the effects.
I know that, but I didn't do the clipping mask because I wanted the layers to be on top of some other layers, and I didn't want to do clipping mask, and it just turned into a mess.
So you didn't want to put a layer on top of a layer that's already on top of a layer that's below a layer.
Correct. Well, knowing is half the battle. The other half is red and blue lasers. GF and Joe.
There we go. Let's see, that's kind of close enough. So now what I want to do is I want to push the color on this a little bit. There, that feels a little better. Do that. And I'm going to blur out his tail. So it sits back there with the log better.
Should one try to draw from one's head to get better at it, or is it just something you get better at after drawing a lot from reference and not something you have to practice separately?
See that again?
Should one try to draw from one's head to get better at it, basically draw from your imagination, or is it just something you get better at after doing a lot of reference drawing?
Oh, it's both. It's just something you get better at after you do a lot of reference drawing. That's the main thing I can tell you. for sure.
How would you feel about making your own movie about dragons, like similar to How to Train Your Dragon, but instead of CG is traditional?
That'd be cool.
Huh. Citizen Seagal says, "Why every time you do a stream, someone makes a dislike to the stream, and it's only one person all the time?
Because they got to be different, baby.
It's always that one guy."
That's all right.
I have a theory on that, but I'm not going to say anything.
I don't know why they even have a dislike button.
Actually, do you know that both likes and dislikes help you get more views on YouTube?
I did not know that.
You could have a whole bunch of dislikes and you'll still get, it'll act, basically any interaction is considered positive by YouTube.
Very interesting. All right, all right, all right.
Who is Joe Grant, and have you met him or worked with him at Disney?
Yeah, Joe Grant was a story guy, idea guy. He started during Snow White. When I worked with him, he was 96, 98, something like that.
Wow.
He came on and helped us out with King of the Elves. The cricket in Mulan was his idea. He was always great at coming up with little characters that can spice up the animation, spice up the story. I'm going to do something now. Oh, I see. I was doing wrong. I was on the wrong layer.
Do you ever miss working for Disney?
I miss the people. I miss the people that I used to work with a lot.
Yeah, the people we work with now are terrible.
It was fun working in a studio. But I'm remembering, me being 21, 22, 23 years old, all the stuff we did back then. If I went back now as an old man, it would be different.
So quiet.
I'm getting there. I'm almost there. Almost done.
Almost there. It's been a very long time since we've done a stream this long. Can't remember the last time.
I wanted to do. What the heck's going on? What's a?
What the? Are you still in touch with any of your old crew?
Oh, yeah.
Like Tony Bancroft, Don Hahn.
Yeah, the whole gang. Don Hahn wrote the foreword for the new book.
Nice.
Yes, you did.
What is your favorite part of doing art? Like the sketching or anything particular?
This stage, I really like the finishing stage. Almost there. I'm so freaking close.
Hey, Aaron. I know it depends.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey. I know it depends on the complexity of the painting, but in general, what which do you think takes you longer to paint in digital media or with watercolor?
Oh, watercolor, for sure. Digital is always faster.
Should the grass in the center under the log be blurred?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're probably right.
yeah, you're probably right. It's awfully cheeky of you.
Why are hippos considered the most dangerous animals in Africa?
Because they kill the most people in Africa? I'm using my smudge tool and getting in there and just kind of blurring it out with my airbrush brush.
Airbrush brush?
My airbrush brush. All right. Boy, this was a long stream, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
right
guys.
now. Yeah, it's right now 4:14.
Hey, you're getting paid. Shut your mouth.
Quick question. What's the difference between both membership types? Greetings from Mexico City.
The streaming is cheaper monthly on a month from a monthly standpoint, but what you don't get the new courses that come out. You have to wait 60 days, and the brushes you get a discount on, but you don't. They're not included in the membership. Whereas if you become a member, you get everything when it comes out, and you have access to everything.
Yeah, the big difference is the idea with the streaming course is it's more affordable up front. It's like a smaller monthly chunk versus
Right.
You know.
Instead of one big chunk.
But the annual is definitely the way to go if it's in your budget because it works out to
It's a better deal.
Yeah.
As far as what you get.
But the streaming's great too.
Oh yeah.
We love all of our members.
There we go. Just adding a little bit of there we go. Nelly.
Again. Someone's asking what screen you're using. This is a Wacom Cintiq 32-inch.
There. Oh, it was fun.
Yeah.
There it is, folks.
Zoom and pan. Zoom and
Did
pan.
So when you see it up close, it's kind of loose. But when you back out from it, it comes together, and that's the whole idea. And it was fun reversing those spots on the leopard. I love experimenting with stuff like that to see what I can come up with. And using your own photographic background, it saves you a bunch of time. There it is. Yeah, see?
Yes.
Actually, I want to try one more thing.
Knew it was coming. It always is.
Where's the right? Oh, there it is.
What's the question that you ask yourself that we have not asked?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, why?
How did I get here? This is not my beautiful house.
Oh.
This is.
What is the meaning of life? Always look on the bright side of life.
Actually, I'm glad I did that because I forgot to get some extra fur texture in here.
One more thing. There it is.
Yeah, just makes them feel a little rougher.
By the way, if you do like this stream, please share it. It really does help us a lot. Share it, like it, hit the subscribe buttons. all of
Smash
stuff.
that subscribe button.
Smash it. Ring that bell.
Ding ding.
Ring my bell.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
All right.
Ring my bell.
Tail.
There we go.
You done with the tail?
Pretty much. I just blurred it. Blurred it out. Blur it. Smash it.
Hide him, Dustin, so that people can see the
Yeah.
whole piece.
You do it.
Full screen it.
Yeah, it looks better.
Hold on. I know I'm doing something. I'm doing something.
But you can still hide.
are
You
you
can still hide him in the meantime, Dustin.
Huh?
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, it's a lag.
You think of darkening up the lower
Lots of first-time watchers today, I'm
the
noticing.
lower left. Darkened up the lower left.
Thank you, everybody who's tuning in for the first time today.
Let's rotate that sucker to see if we're still feeling good about it. Got to think a little bit. Feels all right. Do I need to blow out any of that fur on the back? Like it's getting blown out by the sunlight?
Where are you talking? Oh,
Just along the back.
the spines on the back bridge?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe a little bit.
Feels like it needs to be
Just a tad.
blown out.
Who came up with the idea of doing live streams? Was it Nick?
No, I don't remember how
I
that
think-
happened.
I think what it was is I think you guys saw the way that I did live streams with my video games, and you guys had the idea from that.
Nah, I don't think that
And-
was it, Dustin. Pretty sure that wasn't it. We started doing them on Facebook because Facebook offered us the option to do it back in the day.
I think I helped out with the OBS. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was later though. We used to do it on phones.
Yeah.
I definitely like the feeling of the sun coming through his neck stuff.
Yeah, right here.
That skin, yeah.
Make that a little harder. There we go.
Did you get the idea for the neck like a gecko?
Yeah.
People are saying, Aaron, for the love of God, please save.
Oh yeah, I forgot to save.
Accidentally hits the X button.
Yeah, that feels better.
Feels a lot better. Erica Pace says, I remember the phone days.
Save as. It's got to go into YouTube. don't be so slow. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
YouTube videos.
Live stream videos. Right?
Oh, live stream videos. That's right. But we got a separate thing for live stream video. There it is. Live stream images. And we're going to call it a Kegel.
That's not gonna go over there.
You know, like it's a cat
I just
and an
want you to
eagle.
look up what a Kegel is after the
A
show.
cat and an eagle. It's a Kegel. Dustin was spot on with that.
I'm
There we go.
scared to look it up now.
It's Kegel.
I'm scared to look it up.
I don't know. I think that name is tight.
I think that name is Oh my gosh, that's funny.
We're such little kids.
I know. All right, hold on. And oh, I guess
Someone on Twitch says, I just tuned in. I'm 3 hours late this week.
Well, at least you caught us.
People want to know if you'll make this available as a print. We're going to start doing a lot more prints. So
Yeah, if you
yes.
want this as a print, that could be kind of cool.
I think we're going to
Remember, it's when you see it blown up, it's a little looser than here. There it is. There.
I think we're going to do a print of the charcoal drawing from last week too for the people that saw that stream. Pretty sure we're going to make prints of that available.
Which is right over here.
Yeah, show that on the full screen.
Do you see it?
Yep.
There it is. So that was the charcoal from last week, which was fun. And there's our digital painting this week. See, that's why I love my job. Doing a charcoal one week and a digital painting the next. A made-up creature and then a real creature.
People are like, that creepy monkey paw is still there.
I know. I'm going to leave it. Because only you guys know it's there. It's a little baboon.
Baboon.
My little baboon. All right, there you go. Thanks, you guys. I had a blast. Going out there and put some beauty back in the world. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and we will talk to you next week. All right?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And if you're interested in any wildlife photography, you can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaise. And also, if you're interested in any wildlife reference packs, go ahead and check out my Yellowstone photo pack while waiting for my Africa photos.
Our photo packs are still all 30% off, by the way.
Yeah, and I wanted to remind everybody about the sale today. I kind of jumped off too quick, but
The pen and ink sale you were talking about?
And the membership.
the membership sale.
Oh, membership.
Yeah,
there we
you
go.
get $70 off our full membership, which is a huge savings. And was it 30% or 40%? 30%.
40% off.
40% off of our streaming membership. So go on over to creatureartteacher.com and check it out.
And the pen and ink sale is still going on.
Yep.
Just for a little
But
bit
if you get memberships, that's included. So that's the way to go. Thank you guys for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
See ya.
See you next week.
Bye.